searching all along, confessing twilight hours.
A few things I found at a garage sale. I bought a big box of assorted things at a garage sale, mainly AC chargers, but there was a few game things in there as well, including this Game Boy Color charger, Game Boy Color power pack. See in here, I think it's Pelican brand. I never seen it before. I used to have one when I had a regular Game Boy, but it didn't look like this. Got a charging cord for it. Got this weird box. I don't know if this is for the expansion pack. Let me know in the comments if you know. This weird box is a Nintendo 64 charging box. I found this weird Nintendo Wiimote nunchuck. The gyro inside stuck, so I can't get the thing out right now. I probably could if I messed with it, but I just thought it was pretty weird. It works. A couple Xbox extension cables wrapped around these weird, convenient rubber things you could hold your cables on. First pickup we're going to be looking at is Road Rash 2 for the Sega Genesis. And I got this from Whatnot. It was a bundle deal. I got a few other games you're going to be seeing later on with it. And this one ended up being 15 in the end. It's good condition. CIB. Got the manual and everything. I think it even had the hang tag. And if you don't know about Road Rash, it's a battle driving game, motorcycle, and awesome game. Awesome music. Now, if you were to go out and get like the definitive one you might want to play for your console, I'd probably say Road Rash 3 is the best one on the Genesis. Personally, if I'm playing a 2D one, I like to play the Saturn, but all of them are awesome. The one for 64 is super cool as well. We're going to be looking at The Lion King, Sega Genesis. This one's not complete, but I only paid $5 for it. And again, I'm always surprised with the Disney games on the Genesis. They didn't waste their time into making these games. These games look good, they sound good, they're true to the storyline. They can be a bit hard at times, especially seeing how you think they were made for kids, but all in all, I think these are awesome games. And if you're a fan of Disney at all, platformers, I think you should go ahead and check them out. And they're cheap. They're dirt cheap. You can get them CIB, usually $5, $8, $10, $15 if it's got the manual in good condition. So check it out. Moving along, next up we're going to be looking at Earthworm Jim for the Sega Genesis. And this is out for Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. You know, take your pick, whichever one. They're both going to be good. I actually was torn for getting this game for a long time because for a while I wanted to get it for Sega CD. Now it's Earthworm Jim Special Edition, and I waited and waited because I didn't have the console for the longest time, and I finally got the console. I was checking out the prices just a few years ago, and yeah, it's pretty much redunculous. So I'm seeing this one on Whatnot for a good deal. Went ahead and snagged it up. If you've never played it, if you can find it for a good deal, even loose, definitely check it out. So here we got NFL, NHL 97, and Shanghai Triple Threat for the Sega Saturn. Now, I mainly bought these for the cases, but NHL and Shanghai actually aren't that bad. Shanghai is actually kind of cool if you're into Mahjong type of games. You'll see it here in a minute, but I only paid $15 for these, and the cases on them are in great condition. I mean, look at these hinges. Now, Shanghai is pretty dirty. It's going to need cleaned up, but that ain't nothing. For cases like these, if I need to replace one of my Saturn cases or my Sega CD cases, or if I find something in the future that I can, upgrade with a case, I go ahead and get them now, especially when the hinges are like this.
Good evening. This is John Davidson. Welcome to EA Sports Hockey Night. We have a great divisional matchup tonight. There is no love lost between these two teams, and the fans are geared up for some serious hockey. This game is not only a rivalry, but could also be a preview of future playoff series. Let's get to the game.
As far as the games themselves go, I'm not much for sports, especially the NFL 97. I like some hockey games. I got my favorites, but I probably won't be visiting the NHL 97 for Saturn very often. But yeah, I was actually pretty surprised with this game, with the variety of modes you can do, the colorations, all the different tiles you got on here. It's actually pretty fun. And if you find it out in the wild and you like these types of games, puzzle types, mahjong types games, and it's cheap, pick it up. We're going to be looking at Tekken 5 for the PlayStation 2. Now, Tekken Tag Battle is probably still going to be my go-to, but I picked this up with some other cheap games on Whatnot. I think I paid $5 for this one, and the case and the front art cover is in pretty rough condition, but that's alright. It was cheap, and I'm not a crazy Tekken collector. So does anybody know what's up with this little mini game at the very beginning of the game? Namco found it fit to put a little spaceship shooter game, almost like Sylphid or something, at the beginning of the game. If you know anything about it, let me know in the comments. As far as the fighting goes for Tekken, you know, there's nothing to complain about here. If you never played any of the Tekken games before, this one's got great stages, awesome moves, a lot of varied moves for each one of the fighters. And I always like using the lion guy myself, but my girlfriend, she always likes using Wall. So we like going at it back and forth. Tekken's always been one of our favorites. If you never played it before, get 5. It's a little cheaper than Tag Battle. Check it out. $3 for the original Xbox, and I'm gonna try to go for the 3-pack collector's edition they had for the original Xbox. I got 2 of them already, and if I can find them all with the posters, I like having the posters with them. I'm gonna try to put that together on the cheap if I can. As far as gameplay goes, if you never played Grand Theft Auto 3, it's tried and true Grand Theft Auto. You know, make your money, get your weapons, fight the cops. I mean, it's all. The storyline's actually really good too. It's kind of akin to, you know, Scarface or Goodfellas or something like that. Probably more leaning towards Goodfellas, but the action's here, the gameplay's solid. Check it out. Here we got Afterburner 2 and Streets of Rage 2 for the Sega Genesis, and these are both awesome games. So if you never played the Afterburner series before, they're basically like forward-scrolling shmups, and they move fast and furious. Bullets, missiles, everywhere. You're gonna have enemies coming towards you. You're gonna have enemies coming away from you, and yeah, it's fast moving. It's arcade goodness at its best for sure. And of course, Streets of Rage. You know, if you like brawlers, you never checked out the Streets of Rage series before, you need to get off the couch, because Streets of Rage, to me, is pretty much the tippity tops when it comes to couch co-op brawlers. Now, as you like to see me, I like skate. I mean, everyone's gonna like their own people, but I like skating around, beating people up. That always makes it a little bit funner for me. And the mechanics for this one are great. The colors are bright in this game. I mean, the first one was great too, so it's not like not the first one. All 3 of the Streets of Rage are awesome, and even the new one they came out with. So here's a couple of fun ones. You cheap like brawlers. Got Yoshi Safari for the Super Nintendo. Got Yoshi's Cookie for the Nintendo Entertainment System. And got the manual for Yoshi's Cookie. Loose with the Yoshi Safari, but that's okay. I don't mind. So here we got Yoshi Safari. And it's a light gun game of sorts. If you've never played it before, I picked it up because I think it's hilarious seeing Mario depicted with a gun. But I'm not going to dive too deep into this because we're going to see it here a little. Here we got Yoshi's Cookie. So if you like Tetris games, but you're not very good, and you want to feel like you're really good at a Tetris-like game, play Yoshi's Cookie. I'm serious. I don't know if they made it super easy on purpose or what, but I picked it up and started playing it, and I was literally just 2 or 3 moves, and the board's cleared. Now, I was trying to get all the Yoshi games, you know, loose or not, with the manual, whatever. Take a little break from the games. I don't know if you guys like your literature, but here we got Nintendo Power Battletoads, 1991, and Donkey Kong for the Nintendo 64, 97. And these are cool. I got these real cheap from a store right here in town. It's kind of a pawn shop. They carry a little bit of everything, but I pretty much consider this, you know, strategy guides. One of the things I like to do for the games I really like is I like to get the game CIB with an original piece of advertisement, a poster or something, and the strategy guide. And for Battletoads, I'm considering this my strategy guide. Look at that, there's your turbo tunnel. Got a little comic book in this Nintendo Power. I mean, these things are cool. If you guys are in the Nintendo Powers, I mean, you gotta start checking them out. They're awesome. A blast from the past. Here you're seeing a Wave Race poster. This was in the Nintendo 64, Nintendo Power. Here's the Spy Hunter. This was the poster that was in the Battletoads. I was hoping it was going to be a Battletoads poster. Up next, we got some Metal Gear Solid strategy guides. Now, I love the Metal Gear Solid series, and I love strategy guides, and they're always fairly cheap. You know, I mean, it's pretty cool. You know, the big old thick ones too. These are probably pounds between these 2 books right here, and you can go through and check out some of the original character designs and everything, and I think that's pretty cool. And Television Lives for the Xbox. And I always like these collection packs, and this one's got like 60 or over 60 or something in it. And Television may be a little hard to revisit, but you got a friend over, so you start the game out in sort of this diner bar area, and there's all kinds of different cabinets to choose from, and they're all kind of labeled, you know, sports or fighting or space or what have you, and it's a pretty cool environment. I really like how they laid everything out here for you. And first game, we got like a Space Invaders clone. I don't even remember the name, but this game is packed full of different games like this, and all kinds of other ripoffs close to it. There you go. Here's a different one for you. And like I said, you know, it's nothing that's groundbreaking here, but you get a friend over, you guys like to play some old games. I'm not that old, but something interesting for you. Gonna be looking at Metal Gear Solid Dreamcast version for the Sega Dreamcast. Kind of a weird thing. If you're really into Metal Gear Solids, worth checking out. I'm showing it here with the original PlayStation 1 version because you will need the original PlayStation 1 version for this to work. And look at this. Look what it shows on the controller when you put on the memory card when you put it in. So cool. So if you guys don't know the story of the Dreamcast, there's this crazy thing where this company wanted to take ports from the PlayStation 1 and put them on the Dreamcast, basically. And it was a whole crazy legal thing that was never going to work to begin with. Many YouTubers have done awesome videos on it, Please check it out. It's awesome technology. And when I load this up, I just sit there and think, like, man, what could have been? You know, we could have had so many awesome different 3D, different type games from the PS1 on our Dreamcast, a little bit clearer. Now, you know, this version right here, it's no Twin Snakes, you know, with the component cable for your GameCube, but it's definitely the next best thing. This thing's pretty cool. So as far as what I notice as overall graphical improvements, the 3D character models are definitely improved, but a lot of the other overlays, like where it says Metal Gear here in a second, I thought it was a lot clearer, sharper. I don't know if you can really make it out here, you know, on the video, but and as far as gameplay, you know, it's no different from the PlayStation version. You know, it doesn't seem to obviously have any latency or lag issues or anything like that from the port. It's an awesome port. And if you go back and watch the video, the Bleemcast team really took their time when doing these ports. They only got the 3 out legally. So this is definitely going to be the big hitter for me this month, guys. This is Lunar 1 for the Sega CD. Got it from Whatnot. It's a reproduction case, but I only paid $54. And I've never had this disc variant before. There's a bunch of different variants of these discs, and I've never had this one before, so that's pretty cool. And here you're seeing an original piece of advertisement I got from eBay. I think it was eBay or Mercury. I'll put it down below. It's like $7 from GamePro, like 1992. Super cool. I love having an original piece of advertisement to go with my favorite games, and this one was cool and cheap. And you're gonna see here in the second what was on the back. I couldn't believe it. Secret of Mana. I didn't know which side to display. They're both awesome. So if you guys have never played Lunar before, you gotta check it out. You like 16-bit RPGs of the era? Yeah, because I don't hear enough people talking about the Lunar series. Obviously, I always hear people talking about Final Fantasy. People talking about the Personas every once in a while. Hear everybody talking about the Xenogears. A lot of the PS1, Super Nintendo RPGs. And Lunar was kind of skipped out on until the PS1 era. A lot of people didn't play it until the PS1. I started on the Sega CD, and then I jumped to the PS1 and came back to the Sega CD. And I'll tell you that story here in a second. But animation cutscenes aside, I prefer the Sega CD version. It's a lot different in a lot of different ways. So the map is a lot bigger on this one, the world map, and that means you get a lot more random encounters. So a lot of people aren't gonna like that, but one major thing that I like about that for this version is once you finally get to the dungeon and get through it and get to the boss, you're good to go. You don't have to go through and grind and level up anymore. You're pretty much good to go. It seems like it's more about the experience of leveling up through the journey when it comes to the Sega CD version. Because when I went through and played the PS1 version again, even just recently, at least the first 3 or 4 hours of it, they shortened all that. They shortened the random encounters, and they shortened having to go through all the battles to get to the boss. But it seems like they made the boss battles harder as well. So choose your poisons, whichever one you want. The PS1 is definitely the more definitive version when it comes to pretty much everything, but me personally, I like the Sega CD version. So that's my August pickup video. Really, the crown jewel for this month has got to be Lunar. Y'all, this game right here has haunted me since I was about 13 years old. I got this game. I didn't even get it. I borrowed it from a friend and played it. Didn't beat it. Had to return it, give it back to him. Many years went by. I was about 15, 16 years old. I played on the PS1. Friend had it. And once again, wasn't able to beat it. Now, a couple years after that, I got my own PlayStation. I got my own copy of Lunar. I ended up going to Seattle to help a friend out. And when I returned, my parents had sold it at a garage sale. So I lost it again. And it wasn't the Sega CD version at that point. That was the PlayStation version. But I couldn't believe it. I lost it again. And fast forward to I was probably about 25. Backwards compatible PS3 at this point. Still loving RPGs. Try Lunar again. So I get it. The PlayStation breaks. My disc is stuck inside the console. I had to send it to PlayStation. Disc stuck inside of it. Barely got it back. Went to play it again. Corrupted file. Could not reload my file. I was like, okay, I'm not starting over again. I'm cursed with Lunar. Put it on the back burner. Lunar 2? No problem. Played it plenty of times. CD, PlayStation, doesn't matter. Played it plenty of times. Lunar 1? I've been cursed for years with this game. So fast forward a few more years. I'm 33 at this point. This year. Beginning of the year, I do a big trade. I've been doing a whole lot of consolidating my consoles probably the last year or two. I probably sold about 200 games this year. Really trying to consolidate my collection, really curate the games I have for me. And I think I've done pretty good at that. But anyway, did a big trade-in beginning of this year. Ended up getting Lunar, complete Sega CD. Bring it home, start playing it. It's actually a month or so afterwards I start playing it. But I get to the point where you go meet the first Dragon Master dying, and it freezes. The town where you go to the port to go to the island where he is, it freezes and it freezes and it freezes. I go get it resurfaced. I go get it worked on. It does not work. And this was a $200 game. So, took it back to the place I got it from. Luckily, he was honored his purchase. They honored his game, and he, gave me $180 store credit. That's what it was. I had 180 store credit. I threw down 20 to buy it in the beginning. So, ended up getting the PlayStation 1 version again. Fast forward a few months later after that, late night, on Whatnot, about to go to bed, you know how it is. I see people doing a Sega CD, Sega Saturn auction. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check it out. I see Sonic, what was it? Sonic 3D Blast, I think, for the Sega Saturn go up. Sells for like $120. The guy's real confident. Next up, Lunar. Nobody bid. Nobody bid. Started at $50. You're going to be seeing the receipt right here on scene now. $50. Lunar 1. Sega CD came back into my life. Man, look at that. Look at that disc. There's actually 7 different variations of this disc. I don't know when it comes to rarity, which one this is, but this is definitely the third or fourth variation I've had for this game. Let me see here. Let me see if I can show you this here without showing you anything. Alright, can you see that? I'll show it on screen too. I'll take a video of it and put it on the screen in case this isn't clear, but I couldn't believe it. Even though I had walked away and given up on the Sega CD version on Lunar again, it comes back into my life. And that just goes to show you guys, the collector's luck, it comes around. So keep your eyes out, keep your eyes open out there when you're out and about collecting things. Sometimes you give up on things. I've given up on plenty of games. I gave up on Lunar plenty of times, and it keeps coming back into my life, and I was so happy. I couldn't believe it. I haven't started playing it again. I'm a little scared. I'm going to start playing it and something else is going to happen. So I haven't started playing it again, but without a doubt, before I ramble on too much longer, that's the pickup of the month. That's the score of the month. That's my holy grail item right there. Hope you enjoyed the pickups for August 2022. Thanks for watching. I'm MYSTACLES. Stay safe out there.
Here's a way, kind of peace out, face reality, never be charity. The enemy, your buddy, covers all society. Damn right, mommy's not here, gonna fight all night. Right here, shadow 10 o'clock direction. Seize the moment, this destroy the nation. You rhyme slow motion, give me motivation. Freak out now, and then on arrival. Round up around, spit out, all over. Rhyme like a rolling stone, calm in the crowd. Watch out the moon, that this too loud. This won't this sound, and bombs whole round. Surround up, don't ease your pace, cause enemies brutal. Moment of truth, there ain't